me now. We got it. No worries. Good job. Okay, I'm going to jump right into it. Welcome to another Mother Fiction Writers podcast. I'm the host, Stevie, and I'm really excited to have two guests on tonight. We're going to talk about aliens and romance and all things wonderful about that. So welcome Sabrina and Chrissy. Hi guys. If Sabrina, if you want to jump in and maybe just say a little bit about your bookstagram and stuff, and then Chrissy, if you want to do the same afterwards, then we'll do a little intro.
Okay. Mine started out as like a YA fantasy page, and then everything just got out of control.
I love it.
More of a dark romance, monster romance, and alien romance page, and that's really all I read now.
Yeah.
I'll dive back into fantasy and YA every now and then when I want just like a palate cleanser, but with the monsters and aliens over here.
You found your spot. You found your niche.
I need her to take a break of it because it's my TBR from her is like.
I just out of my it's aliens right now, big time. Like I haven't even been doing like regular monster romance. It's been alien big time.
Did you see where somebody changed up that NASA thing and it was like NASA alerts readers, aliens are not fuckable?
I did see a meme about that.
Yeah. Try.
Yeah. Right.
I was like, I don't know. Beam me up.
Right. I'm waiting. Where are you? No, I'm just kidding.
I guess my turn. I don't know. I was bored and someone said I could have fun here. So here I am. And then I did the same thing. Started out was like YA and I was like, oh yeah, I'm kind of like immature. So I figured that's my good reading level. And then I accidentally purchased Ice Planets thinking that it was YA. And that was my gateway. I am hook, line, and sinker, and the dirtier the book, the better. Thank you very much.
Right. I think, yeah, it gets to a point where you're just like, nothing surprises me anymore. Bring it on.
Yes. No.
Yeah. So
that got me into Ice Planet Barbarians. She's actually the one that did that one.
Was it? Oh yeah. See, I love that. And I know you two I can talk to. And that's what Stacy, if Stacy was on here, I was trying. So I'm like, you have to read these books. You've got to give them a try. And she fell in love with them too. I don't know how you can't.
Yeah, that's what I say.
And I know we all love, the first one's the one that gets talked about the most, obviously, as the beginning book and stuff. And of course, Bechtel and Georgie, they're great. But it was book two, honestly. I was hooked by book one, but it was book two that, one, you cannot go wrong with Liz. She's hilarious. Mm-hmm. And then there was so much tension between the two of them that it was delicious.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that he got convinced that he could, gift her things.
Well, yeah, and then that, right? And then number three opens up even more, and that was hilarious. Can you imagine someone carving their manhood and being like, "Here you go, honey. Please love me." That's hilarious. They're really good. I always try and say, if you haven't tried, that's why they're kind of the perfect gateway though, because they are they're very cutesy and romantic. They are, yes, they're very wholesome. So you still get
dirty.
Yeah, right. You still get ribbed and tails and horns and all kinds of different stuff, but then there's the sweetness.
Yeah, I'm all in.
Yeah. And so I'm going to show a picture of the book that we are about to talk about. We all read this one. We all got arcs. And so we're going to talk a little bit about Craving the Alien Vampire by Rose Singh. And it was way shorter than I thought. I guess I went in blind and had no idea it was only 20,000 words. What about you guys?
The same. I watched Sabrina finish it in like seconds. I was like, how the hell did you read it that fast?
Sabrina's not a reader. I knew the author had DM'd me, and she told me about it. She said it was short and just a novella. She was going to continue the series. So I didn't know it was a short one, but with the knowing that it was going to continue similar to how other alien romance series kind of continue with just like a different couple.
Right.
Or, yeah. So I knew it was going to continue, but I didn't know it was short. But I like that because, like Chrissy said, I was able to finish that one really quick.
Right.
Yes.
Right. It didn't have too much world building. It kind of jumped right into things with like the soulmate part and everything. So you weren't waiting too long for spice to happen. So that was fun. I think I think because I didn't realize it was so short, I kind of like went back a couple times to be like, did I miss something? They're already like soulmates here. But I liked it.
I appreciate, like a fast burn and all, sometimes I'll appreciate a slow burn really good, but I don't mind them jumping into it first chapter.
Right. I don't have
No, I didn't. At all.
I do hope that there is more world building though as the series continues. I am really interested in how like everything comes about, how it all came about. So hopefully we'll see in the next.
I kind of want more of the ring, like that very initial, like where she was kind of getting sold or whatever, like I kind of want a little bit more into that and see what's going on, because I'm not sure if book 2, does anyone know when that one comes out?
I don't know when it comes out. I haven't seen it yet, but I do know that they might dive more into that aspect of it because the guy is in another ring where he's having to eat and battle, and that's like who they were looking for in the first book.
Yeah.
So I guess it does dive deeper into that like whole, I guess, I don't want to call it slave trade, but it kind of sounds like a slave trade.
Right. Like the stealing and the selling and the new guy is going to be like a gladiator, right?
Yeah.
Like and then, so did you guys like the characters? What do you think about the characters?
I loved Torn. Like, I just loved him. But he was also a vampire. So you put that on there, and I'm already sold. And there was no face morphing thing. Like, he was just like, he was a vampire. And I liked it.
Yeah. There was no hiding.
No.
Yeah.
I liked both of them. Torn, especially with just being torn between, him feeling like he wasn't good and then not wanting to drag her into the mess that. Yeah. So I always liked that, but I also liked I liked Maya a lot. One, because she's 5'8", she's my height.
Oh, there you go.
All girls. She's tall, and that there is still the size difference, which I love because I'm not 5'3" over here, and there's not much size difference between human beings with a 5. So when I read monster romance, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for the size, but it's not that she threw in there that she's not small by human standards, and there's still this size difference between her and Torin, and I love that so much.
That was nice. Well, and I love that, like, didn't she at first think they were tattoos? He has like markings on them, but they ended up being scars, and then you kind of got deeper into his tortured past and why he didn't think he was good enough for a soulmate and stuff. I liked that a lot. I really enjoyed that. And obviously it makes you feel for him, a character, who's he killed someone right from the beginning, didn't he? So you're like, oh, okay, there's a deeper side to him too.
I really like the side characters that were brought into it as well. His friend, the demon-looking guy, I hope because he was kind of funny. Right.
He was super funny. He was one of my favorites. I know. I really liked him.
main male character, you know, sometimes that's like funny and flirty and everything just off the bat. So I think that's how he would be. So it'd be nice if we got a book with him in it.
Right. Well, because he became like almost like her friend in a way. And so that was really cute. And I enjoyed it.
The cyborg dude?
Was that the guy who was looking for his brother? Now I'm forgetting. Who was he the captain?
The captain isn't the cyborg.
Okay.
The cyborg dude was the one that married them.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I missed that part.
I don't know if that's his name, but yeah, he seemed like a pretty cool character. So hopefully she kind of goes from there with her.
Each get their own book. Yeah. Yeah. Because cyborgs could be interesting. Like you could take that anywhere. Like how much of him is cyborg, how much of him are robot, how much of him is human, right?
Right. Like I feel like I got a little taste of what this series could be, and so there's like a lot of potential with it. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
Well,
she like started out. It's like it's very small. Like, but they're only on a ship. She has so many places that she can go with this.
Oh, for sure. And just within this, like I said, I wanted to see a little bit more into this trade or like what's going on. How big is it? Does it go from planet to planet? Is it just this place? And then I also are each of these? She put out the title of number 2, and was there werewolf in there? So is there always going to be like a mixture of paranormal in there?
Yeah, paranormal mixed with alien, and so I like that a lot. How she did
that's unique.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're getting
she just changes them up a little bit.
We're getting romance and alien romance together.
Exactly. Who doesn't love that? There's something wrong with you if you don't like it. No, I'm just kidding. No, that is, for me personally, that's like the perfect mixture, because I do like, because sometimes when you get alien romance, sometimes they're too human-y for me, where I'm like, where's the gills, or where's the horns, or where's the different skin,
and that kind of plays into why people are kind of like nervous to get into the genre. So like I feel like it's good to let people know that there are alien romances out there where the aliens are very human.
Right.
And kind of like an introduction to that, but also in those same stories they have other races and species of aliens that they get introduced to, but it's not the main character. So they're getting introduced, and then their interest level kind of goes up about these characters, and they look different, and that's where you start diving in the different looks and the different species and stuff. Like that's when people start jumping into Ice Planet Barbarians with the different anatomy, the horns, the tail, and everything.
Right.
So that you got to start them out with like a humanoid alien race, but they get introduced to others, and then really start diving into it, and then they get more comfortable with it.
Yeah. Well, because that's how, I don't know, Chrissy, if you've read Choosing Theo yet, the one so that one, they are almost like, they are definitely, they speak different languages, and they do have like some symbols and stuff like that, but otherwise they pretty much are human-y. Besides that, I mean, I haven't gotten really far, so there might be.
So I'm 7, and it does branch off. Like that series is really, it starts out as they're very humanoid, but there's lots of other species and races on the planet, and they're all kind of working together. It makes sense. Get introduced to these side characters that do have horns, do have wings, do have tails, and they wind up being the main characters in. Okay. So, really, the last one that just came out, he has a whole ass tail. He's got markings all over him. They wear metal from head to toe, and all that. And then I think it's like 3 books in. It's Saving Barako. He's green. He's got fangs. He's got pointed ears, and he has this magic that he can use, and that's only for his race. And so it does branch out later in the series.
Well, she kind of explains that from the get-go through the one guy's point of view that was like helping her, the older guy that was like helping her. He kind of explains that there's like all these different, not really tribes, but sections, kind of like mountain clans and stuff like that.
It's gigantic, and it's got all different races and species all over this planet.
That's cool.
And so humans wind up going everywhere, so they meet all these people.
I like that. That's awesome. So, Chrissy, you need to start that.
Adding that to the TBR.
Another one. It is on Scribd if you're wondering if you want an audiobook. Oh, no.
I'm back. Somebody tried to call me, but I think my husband was like, oh, wait, she's on there.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. You only cut out for a second. No problem. But yeah, so that one is on Scribd. So if you're looking for a new audiobook, right? Do you still do Scribd or not?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And that was Choosing Theo.
Yeah, Choosing Theo. Yep. I get. Well, she just go to Sabrina's page and it's almost like
I just click and drag. I just screenshot and drag this little file.
She always tells me, she's like, "Damn you!" I never get through all of these.
Which I know, but it's perfect because I'm like, you know what? That's what I like to read in January and February because I'm all done with all the theme stuff like Halloween and fall.
Right.
Yeah. Then I jump right into my dirty stuff and I love it.
Exactly.
Right. I've noticed I get a little dirtier in the summertime. That's when I do it. For some reason, I dive deep into fantasy in the winter. I think because I've got nothing else to do, a longer book with world building, that kind of stuff. And I'm looking for some monster. Like right now, I'm right there with you, Sabrina. I'm in my alien zone. But with it getting into spooky season, I'm looking for I want real monsters.
I want more vampires. That's where I'm at. I'm not finding like really dirty ones. I want dirty ones.
Right. Vampires, you get more of the spooky or like the paranormal magic maybe, but where's good like steam? And we need some of that.
Have you read A Blood Moon by Julian Graves?
What was that one?
Blood Moon.
Oh yeah, I do have that one.
That was she released that one last year. Yes, I got that one.
To read if you want vampires and witches and stuff, and it's really, it's like set in now time, like contemporary, but it's really good as far as the steam and the lore goes.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so then I'll have to bump that one up. Well, I'm a mood reader too, so who am I kidding? There's no TBR. It's just whatever I feel.
Yeah.
So I'll just have to make sure I put that one up. Plus, I've been only reading like mostly, sometimes ebooks, but mostly audiobooks. So hopefully that one's on Scribd too. I'll check it out.
I did. She got a couple audiobooks. I don't know if it was the Gargoyle one and that one or just the Gargoyle one.
Great. Is she the one that has like the Titan? Is that what it's called? Okay, yeah. I do have that one. I almost started it. I'm pretty sure that one is on Scribd because I almost started it.
I like that one, except for it really bothered me when the girl kept calling him daddy. I'm just like, no. And it's like,
enough that we get it.
Yes, I was just like, I don't know. And then for me, if it's like the gargoyles, it's like it takes like rock hard to like this level that like I'm uncomfortable with.
Gotcha. I don't know. The one gargoyle one that I loved was Katie Roberts, and that was, I mean, I was in love with that gargoyle. I had to go back and reread it again just because I felt like I read it so fast. Oh, that was the one we kind of buddy read together. Yeah.
Okay, I have not read that one.
But are you a fan of Katie Robert? I can't remember. Did you try one and you didn't like it?
No. Yes. I mean, I don't like that. Okay, so I don't like the Greek god stuff. I tried it and I couldn't get into it. Then I tried like her like little Disney series where it was like Desperate Measures and stuff. That one was like, I liked that. It was okay.
I love Desperate Measures. That one is so good.
Then I got the Lizard Man.
Dragon's Bride.
Thank you.
Oh,
So I
okay.
got that one. I was super excited. And I remember like it coming in the mail. It was like a couple of days later. My husband comes downstairs and he was like, "Did you hear what happened?" And I don't God know what country. And that it was like these men and they had sex with a Komodo dragon. And he was like, and there are people out there reading this book about dragons riding. And I was all like, "You mean like this book?" And he was like, "You own it?" And I was like,
I'm like, you should have been like, yes, I do, and I am enjoying it. I have my lizard.
I was just like, it's on the shelf. I need this story in my brain to kind of go away.
Maybe skip that one and go to the next one.
I pre-ordered that pirate one, so I'm pretty excited for that. I love a dirty pirate, so I'm in.
Oh, speaking of vampires, she does have the Vampire Queen one. That one is really good, and it's a reverse harem. So you've got 3 vampires in her, I believe. Maybe it's 4. I can't remember. But that one's good.
That one's thick. That's a thick one.
That one is. It really is, yeah. But it's good.
Yeah, I liked Neon Gods and that kind of thing, but I do enjoy the monster romances that she's done way better.
Okay.
Did
you read her Kraken one?
Yeah.
I love the
Kraken.
Kraken.
I want to read that one. The artwork
I love the female in that one. And like he's like super kind of distant in that one. The Kraken guy is, and he's like kind of heartbroken from a love lost long ago. And then she's just like real spitfire, and I love her. Like she's not
okay. I'll read that one. We'll save Dragon's Bride for a little while.
Yeah. Don't read any stories about octopuses or anything. Sorry,
I like that. I like my monsters to be soft and squishy.
Yeah, he is. All around.
I can't help it. Sorry.
No.
I love all the ogre ones. Like I loved what was it? Ruby Dixon's the maiden orc, whatever bride.
There's always
orc maiden bride.
Well, that's like how Sabrina said the one guy was green with fangs. I even had a thing for Matic in the Cruel Prince books and stuff. There was something about him that I'm like, yeah, I'm into this.
We were told to read those books. It's when we like the dad.
Right, I know. Just can't help it.
Hey, we'd all be swooning over Charlie and not Edward.
That's probably, yeah, it is true. Yeah. It's true. Well, that's why I've seen all those memes and stuff that are like, how did I miss this guy?
Right.
And it's Bella's but if only he had fangs, we probably would have seen it then. We would have been like, oh yeah, I see it. Because Carlisle was okay. He was all right. He needed a little bit more ferocious, be a little.
I don't know. He was like that warm blanket you just crawl into and feel safe to like suck my blood.
He was. I know.
I like that false sense of safety.
That's true. No, actually, my favorite, if we're going that far back, my favorite was Jasper. And I apparently have always liked the sweet, unhinged ones.
Yes.
I can't
argue there. I like that.
Did you guys have anything else to say about Craving the Alien Vampire? I was going to ask, would you continue the series?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that I want to see where it goes as far as like the world building and the storyline goes.
Right.
Or she could just put out another 75 page of them two together and I'll read it.
Right. Well, that's what I feel like with she must be a short story. I didn't ask for sure, but must be a short story writer. That's perfect for novellas. So maybe we'll get a little.
I'm reading another series that I've been arc reading for Aya Mason. I don't know if y'all have heard of her. You'll probably see me post her stuff. And hers is alien romance, and it's kind of given me similar, like Craving the Alien Vampire is giving me similar vibes to that as far as the kind of how the story building may go. Again, we don't know until we book, but the books are short, but each book continues with a different couple and also continues the storyline. Like there's
that's kind of how Planet Barbarians is. Like they each have their separate book, but it's like a continuation of a story.
Storyline. And so like there's somebody trying to sabotage their ship or the mission or whatever, and it goes into that, and each book like gets closer and closer to, I guess, finding out who it is. But each book is a different couple, human with another type of, because I think there's like 5 different species of aliens on this one ship, and so yeah, you get
like it's on a ship then.
Yes, it's on a ship. They're from a planet, but it's on a ship, and they're exploring unknown space, basically.
Nice. A little Star Trek vibes going on there.
Right.
Okay.
So, vibe going on similar. So it's shorter books, but she's putting them out fairly quickly too, to where you can kind of continue the series without being left on a cliff note. But all of them have happy endings. So
are those books that are like purpley and color that you've been posting? Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's called the Rose Rising series, and they're all like one-word titles. Like the first one is Crash.
Okay, yep.
And then it gets
so
that might be in taste.
Yeah. See, I've been paying attention. I'm pretty sure I added those to my TBR too.
And they're good, like shorter. They're not as short as Craving the Alien Vampire, I don't think, but kind of close. So good palate cleansers between if you don't know what you want to read.
Gotcha. No, I like that.
Yeah.
It's down and dirty.
Right. It's good.
I don't need all the world building. Like I really don't. I don't mind the fantasy books.
Because they're on a starship, so they're small, but it's a lot more character driven and like a plot driven thing than necessarily world building. So and they like the tropes vary, and like the last one I read was just really super sweet, and it was something that I needed. Like it was sweet and spicy, not all dark and spicy.
You definitely need that once in a while. Mix things up and well, that's what. So when you were talking, I don't need all that world building and stuff. It's funny because if you would have talked to me like a year ago, I would have been like, give me all the world building. I only want like these deep fantasy books. But my mindset this year is I don't have a brain this year. So I need something simple to the point, and just it's either wholesome, it's either spicy, and I don't have to think too hard. You know, I just entertained. That's where I am right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. Then there's like books out there that kind of like overdo so much detail that like you're exhausted, like Crescent City.
I'm not gonna bring it up, but yes. I haven't finished it yet, so I can't say too much. I've tried twice.
Yeah, I feel like you get into moods where you want that, but a lot of it, especially as like life gets busier and stuff, where our mind just doesn't have the capacity to take.
But I feel like we all read enough that like if you tell me we're in old stone, like brownstone houses and stuff like that, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't need to know that they're moist and moldy and cracked. Like I got that from
like
yes, I got that from old. We're good.
Right. Yeah, no, I get it. Well, and that's what sometimes, I mean, you kind of go into like an alien romance or a monster romance knowing what you're going to get out of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know that there might be a little bit of a backstory between the two characters. And then usually it's one as a human, no matter how they got there. Right. But then the other one, maybe it's a different kingdom. But I like that it doesn't over explain. You just get a little taste.
And then usually you end up like being like really kind of surprised by a character and their development that you're like, oh,
it's more about
that connection.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that than, you know,
and a
6-inch long grass.
A lot of them span multiple books, and so you get the world building a little at a time.
Yeah.
And all dumped at one damn time where you're just like information overload. So you get this beautiful world in this universe that this author creates, but the information on how that is just given to you a little at a time.
Yes.
But so now, like with the Clocanian series, I'm in book 7, and again, this information of this whole world has just been given over these 7 books, and now I've got it all in my head, but it wasn't information overload on all this world building of this planet that we've never even been to, and so that was really nice.
You get into each character, kind of like in those kind of stories, you kind of see how, and then you get a different perspective of, so like in Ice Planet Barbarians, each one of the girls, you kind of see it through their eyes, all this new world, how this love is coming to be, how they're feeling, but they don't all see it in the same way,
Right.
So I like that as well. I like when a series kind of takes you little by little and then gives you, almost bends it a little bit. And it's more about, instead of the major world building and stuff, it's more about what is it that, who are they inside and their connection between each other.
And how they're perceiving where they're at. Yeah, I get you there.
And that's what amazes me so much about authors, because, as much as I try or whatever to put myself in other people's shoes or see from different perspectives, that's really hard sometimes. Yeah. And so to write a well-rounded character and then continue to do that with different characters throughout that have completely different personalities, completely different perspectives, and be able to do that as gracefully and as well as some of these authors do just blows my damn mind. So
right? I know. Well, I think
but that's what keeps you reading them, right? That's what keeps you like, I'm going for book 7.
Right. Well, I think that's why I read so many of the Ice Planet. I mean, I read all 22 or whatever of those in like less than 2 months. And it was plus the novella.
So I'm like, no, they need to come out into the paperback, and then I will go and I will read it.
Chrissy,
I just couldn't stop. I became like just amazed by all the different characters and everything. And plus they're shorter. So then I was just like, well, I'm going to keep going, I guess, might as well hit the next one.
But did you, because you did it through Kindle Unlimited. So did you get to do like the honeymoon stories?
I did. So I actually read back and forth between Scribd has all of them on there, except for the novellas. So I would go back, basically I was like doing laundry or cleaning. I would be listening to a book. And then at night, I would just continue on with Kindle Unlimited.
Okay.
And there was, some of these little novellas are only like 55 pages long.
Yep.
They're really short. So it's like, you might as well just finish it. Like I picked it up, finished it. Okay, move on to the next one. But it was great because my husband was probably sick of me by the end of those 2 months, because I kept saying, I'm like, I know this is like a spicy book and I know this is like aliens and stuff, but I think this could be a show. This would be such a wholesome.
Oh my God. I would watch it hands down. Like,
right?
Yes, please. Yes,
because there's so much. And like, I don't know, I guess, how far are you guys in the Ice Planet Barbarian?
Book 6.
Okay. So
I count. Book 6.
5.
New paperbacks to come out, because 1, pacing, 2, I don't want this fucking series to end. So if it takes me 5 years to read all 20 something books, I'm totally okay with that.
I'm in there with you. Yes, I'm with you. Although the newest one I have not read, because I'm saving that for like, for that like really down, and I'm like,
yes,
but I got my mom who's like, have you read it yet? And I was like, no, but you can read it. I am not reading it before.
So I have to ask, is that not Barbarian Mind, Barbarian's Mate? Yeah. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my all-time favorite. Like, there's nothing that compares to that one. I loved it.
For her name is, I can't remember it.
Okay, I know Tiffany so far has been my favorite, but I feel like her story is my story, so I needed her, and the fact that like this alien like made sure she was okay.
Because these are not his friends too, right? It wasn't even like the whole Renaissance. What is not Renaissance? God, it's been forever since I've read them now. What's it? Resonance, yes.
Yes.
They didn't even have that, right? It was just
No, it's because it's almost like her body needed to heal mentally before his would allow him to have her.
Yeah,
I just held it when that book was done. I just held it because I'm just like, oh my god, that's the one. I went and had her sign it. I was like, she's like, this is the only one you brought. This is the only one I need you to sign.
Oh, that's perfect. I love that you met her too.
Oh my god, and she's amazing. Everything you would think, she's amazing.
Well, and talk about, so she kind of changed my writing. So I know people, like, a lot of people look at these books like they're a joke and stuff, but the way she writes characters is amazing. She's so good at character development and making them real people with real issues, you know, relatable and stuff. She's very good.
They're beautiful. Like, they're beautiful people. They are. And then they make you laugh because they're also dumb.
Well, right. Well, and then you've got like Liz, where everything is a joke to her, and she's got such a smart mouth, and I love it.
Yes, their honeymoon series is my favorite. Like, my favorite line ever. Tiny spoiler, but I'm pretty sure the world all knows it. But it's like, you can have my heart, but not my butthole. Like, because the old guy was like, oh, they really like that whole touch. She's like, no. I was laughing so hard. I didn't say, like, my husband was like, what are you laughing at? I was like, read this. You just have to read this.
That also reminds me of a humorous book that either of you guys, so this is also monster romance, but it's more like, it's kind of a Beauty and the Beast retelling, kind of, but A Ruin of Roses. Did you guys read that?
No, that one's actually in my cart right now.
Okay. When you read it, you need to talk to me about it, or I'll read it again with you guys, because the person who plays the Clogsworth character is hilarious. Oh my god, he's the funniest.
I was only told it was a retelling, so this is like blowing my mind.
No, there's like, so I think it even explains it on the back, but the castle is taken over by like succubuses and stuff. So it's like the only person that's not like controlled by this or whatever is the main guy, the prince or whatever, but he has his own thing. There's a, like, you know, like the Beast, he's in a certain form or whatever, and then but the Belle version is a badass, like, hardcore. She's such a cool character. But just read them because I can't say too much more, but
that's what I was told. Someone was like, you need to read this because I like the Ghost in Dark and Lonely and stuff. And she was like, read this. It's in there.
Yeah, no, you do. And it's so humorous, so funny. But yeah, I feel like if I say too much, then I've given it all.
No. Yes, someone has told me a lot about the new Allie Hazelwood, and I can tell you both from the little spoiler that I got, that has got some serious monster kink in it, and y'all are gonna like it.
Okay, because wasn't she?
Is it out yet?
No, not yet. It doesn't come out till April. But like my bookstore friends, they like, dude, Allie Hazelwood lives in Texas. Okay, she lives like right over there, and so like they got the arcs, and
okay,
I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need it like.
Is that the girl though who wrote the chemistry books?
Yes, and this is not
the
same thing at all.
Okay.
The love hypothesis stuff.
Yes, the same one.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Paranormal romance. I was like, whoa, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm here for that. I have to look that up.
Really good. So I'm excited for that book.
Yeah, see, I didn't read any of her other ones because I know I need to explore more. I think I've explored a lot, but
yeah,
I'm not a contemporary office-y romance person, you know?
I read that one was because it was put up for vote in the book club that I'm in, and I was against it. I was like, I'm not gonna like this. This isn't what I normally do. Boy, was I surprised. I read that book faster than any book I had read.
Okay. Oh, nice.
So
mine was Love on the Brain, and I did not, and dragged through it.
I was surprised. Surprised myself.
I did hear most people really like Love Hypothesis. Like Love on the Brain was just like boring, but there was like a really cute cat that I was like, oh, I love the cat.
Oh, the cat made that very boring.
Yeah.
Well, I do read some like contemporary and stuff like that when it's like Christmas time. That's about it, like holiday contemporary. That's about as much as I go into. I did really sorry if you can hear my dog. But I really liked, I can't remember, I think it was called the Moose Springs series. And it's very like, the second one is really Christmassy, but it's set in Alaska, so it's always snowy. And that was really cute series. I did like that one. I read I think there's 3 or 4 of them, and I read all those. Unscribed.
I like scripts. No, I have like maybe about 20 of them. They're kind of like my palate cleanser because you don't need brain power and you just kind of
know what the world is. Yeah.
Yes, but the ones I have, they all have to say on it, like someone has to say that it was funny. Because if it's not funny, I don't DNF it.
Yeah. There was another one that was called, I read it because somebody told me it was funny, and the title is funny. Another Christmas one, and it was called Licking Her Cookies, and she's like a baker or whatever. And the series,
that sounds great.
Yeah, that one was really good, and it was funny, and it was spicy. But I didn't continue. Maybe I'll read book 2 this year. But they all have funny names like that.
There was Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone, which she did the Priest books. I don't know if either of you have read those.
I didn't.
I mean, they're dirty. I have not read them. They're dirty. But they did a Merry Little Meet Cute, and so that came out last year, and they have a new one coming out this year. But that one was very dirty. It has changed my entire view of gingerbread lotion. I will never be able to touch that without thinking about this gentleman and his schlong.
Is that a bad thing?
No, not at all.
That's funny.
But it was really good. It was a very dirty one, and I did that as an audiobook, and I was totally in line at my kids' pickup, and when I started the car, the audiobook auto played, and bad words and things are happening, and I'm like, oh my god, while the lady is opening up the door, have a nice day.
And then he pulled out his
package. Yeah. Yep.
That's funny.
Hi, Mom.
I need to find out what book she was reading.
Yeah, that's what she was. That's what she walked away saying for sure.
I really need to find out what that was.
No, but I remember you reading that one, and I do think I added it because, like I said, I do get contemporary around Christmas time just because there's so much going on. You can't really get into deep ones or in Christmas for a lot of people. Not everyone I know. I get very stressed. So I want something simple that's going to make me
you want to be you would definitely like it.
Mood. You want to be
right.
It's feel good and it's dirty and you get to laugh and you have these
and there's gingerbread lotion. I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
That's funny. So what was your first dive into like alien? Was it Ice Planets? Did we already?
For me, it was.
For alien romance?
Yes.
I'm trying to remember what mine was.
You've been in it way longer than I.
It was Ice Planet Barbie. I think it might have been Choosing Theo.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And that's a good one. That's a good one to start with too.
Exactly. Good one to start with, and then I started branching out, and and then Ice Planet Barbie, and I was like, all right, I can get with this different anatomy, these horns and stuff. But I was already kind of into monster romance at that point too, so I wasn't too off.
Yeah, because you got me into was it CM Costa or no? Yes. So I liked her little ogre people.
Romance before I jumped into alien romance, and that kind of helped. I mean, it's just a monster romance to me. It's just alien sci-fi.
Right. Anymore, I don't think much of it. Obviously, it's fun to hear that they've got a movable, anatomy and stuff, or like different things and horns. But I don't think of it so much as like monster romance alien anymore. They become just people to me, as I'm reading. Even though they're describing, his tail or her scales or whatever, I'm like, that's just and maybe I've read fantasy so long too, there's always been characters and stuff where it's like got sharp teeth or long claws or whatever. So I don't think too much of it anymore.
Kind of already, like, as teenagers and stuff growing up with like vampires and stuff like that. Come on.
Right. I know. Ready.
I've had a thing for Dracula since like silent black and white movies. So
for us to like this stuff, because we've been liking it forever, it's just not as tame anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that, and we can actually voice it because there's other people in the world like us.
Right. Yeah. Right. Bookstagram has helped kind of be like, oh, I'm not alone in this enjoyment. And I don't have to feel bad about it too. And actually, one thing I do have to say is it's helped me too, like not only with reading, but writing as well. And even like the other day, I'm not even like, not that I was ever afraid, but sometimes I'm like trying to shy away from certain family members of being like, oh yeah, I write dirty books or whatever and stuff. But anymore, I'm like, I've got fantasy books, but then I've got some really dark, dirty romance, monster romance. I'm thankful that it's been praised. I've never felt shamed or anything, and it only makes you feel better about yourself and like being like, this is great. We all get along. We all love this spice once in a while.
Stuff. Like, she reads Ice Planet Bar. She's read all the Ice Planet Barbarians now, and I started before her, and she reads she reads it all too. She's like the same way, so
that's perfect. I love that. Then you can talk about it too.
It's like,
it makes my dad uncomfortable though, because he's like, could you take that to the other room? And I'm like,
yeah. My mom bring up my Bookstagram or something, and my dad was like, oh, I don't want to hear any of this.
Yeah. That's where
I know I'm not supposed to know what happens. They're like, Dad, you probably don't want to know.
Yeah. That's hilarious. No, that's where maybe dads don't need to know, but moms can join.
They already know. They just don't want to know other people know they know.
Exactly. Right? I know. We're going on 50 minutes, so we did really good. Without going overboard too.
It's easy to tangent.
Yeah.
Those really then I'll call it, and I don't even know where my family is at the moment. So I'm gonna go. Well, that's why at 1 second they kind of like jumped in and then like heard me talking and were like, oh, we know the drill now. So they walked. So I'm not sure where they are. But I'm going to say goodbye, and this has been fun, and I have new books on my TBR, and don't forget to...
Now I do too. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, don't forget to read Rune of Roses.
Yes, and then the Theo one. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, it's fine. I need them, because then I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. What was that book?
Mm-hmm. I know. If I don't add it to Goodreads right away, then I'm just like screwed. Like, I forget. I can't remember the title anymore. But it's been fun, and maybe we can do this again sometime.
For sure.
It was great. Definitely new.